We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Tub with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am that dude. So, hopefully, you guys are tuning in, over and over again. For some of you, maybe for the first time. So I appreciate you. I have with me once again, Izzle.
Yeah.
What's going on, young fella?
Feeling good, feeling great. I like the Eagles jersey. Looking good, my guy.
I try to stay neutral most of the time when I don't, rock no jerseys, but
I support the.
I always support my Eagles. That's my squad. So much love to my birds.
Go Bird gang.
So with that, we are going to talk about something green.
So bars. I like how you did that.
Yeah. We got green and red flags in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about it. We're gonna talk about those green flags, and we're gonna see if they fly in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna talk about some red flags that you should be shooting down. So we're gonna talk about them both. As we get into it, one of the things you gotta understand is that, I don't know you. And I'm talking to the people in general. I don't know you. I don't know what's important to you. And since I don't know what's important to you, I'm going to talk about green flag, red flag in these relationships in a more broad sense. So you have to kind of zero in and hone in on things that's important to you. And there may be a lot more flags that I'm not going to touch on because, again, I'm talking on a wide scale, trying to make sure that you all get an understanding on what I'm talking about when I talk about flags. Green flags, those things that you should look for or look at and say, hey, that's a positive that could help my relationship or someone I would want to be in a relationship. Those are things that are positive for me. Red flags, those are things that I got to question. I got to, make sure. And again, I'm not even saying with all red flags that it's a no-go, meaning that, hey, I'm cutting this off. No, not necessarily, but you need to investigate a little bit more. You need to find out if that red flag is as serious as you think, or maybe it's just something that, maybe the person just haven't grown enough, or they maybe haven't even noticed that they have that flag themselves. So, so don't automatically say a red flag, I got to run. Not necessarily. So, but we're going to talk about
it.
But maybe. So like I said, we're going to talk about it a little bit. So we're going to talk about green first. We're talking about the green flags, things that can be positive in a relationship, things you should look for when you talk about being with someone. And the first thing I want to talk about is the willingness to grow. If you meet a person and that person is willing to grow, to develop, and that's someone that has we talk a lot of times people look at finished products, but that willingness to grow and that ability to grow and change is outstanding. You got to, tap into that. You want somebody, because what they are and who they are today, based off of the circumstances of today and their past, may not be what they're going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And you don't want to miss out on a good thing just because you're saying they're not a finished product. I told my niece, asked me, she asked me one time, she was married to this guy, and she was like, oh, I thought he was like you. And I told her he is like me when I was that age. But you can't compare him to, at that time, the 45-year-old me. I had been through the nonsense, I have grown. So you see in a different version. If you'd have saw me, I was him plus some. I was better at being him than he was. So I was, no, I wouldn't have, but I had the ability and I had the willingness to know that that's not where I wanted to stay. I didn't want to stay that type of person. So the willingness to grow. And luckily my wife saw the fact that, even when I met her, it's like, yo, he ain't a finished product. She could see the willingness, the ability that I had to grow. So again, that's a positive that you want to look at. And then you have, shared values. When you're looking at a relationship, you want someone with some shared values, because if your values aren't aligned, honestly, your relationship is it's going to have a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of hiccups, a whole lot of issues that you just can't get through, or you won't be able to work through, because the value in a relationship, that's the core essence of who you are and who they are. Meaning, the Bible says, don't be unequally yoked. So, and what they're talking about is, if I'm a believer and I'm dating someone who doesn't believe and don't want to believe, that's going to cause problems, because that's the essence of who I am, my faith. So you got to make sure you want to make sure you share values. You also want to share values of what the relationship should look like. A shared value. I believe in marriage. She don't. I believe in kids. She don't. Those shared values, we have to be on the same page of that. And so if we have shared value, that's a beautiful thing to have, and something we can build upon. And that's what you want to do, be able to build upon those things in your relationships. You also want to have mutual respect. You want to be in a relationship where the two of you have mutual respect for one another. And again, if someone respects you for who you are, where you are, you have something to build on. You have to make sure that when I look at you and we talking, and we talk about my upbringing, we talk about your upbringing. We don't downgrade you. It's like, yo, I appreciate where you came from. It may be the same or similar. It may be totally different. But where you came from, I respect that. And this is who you became based off of what you came from, whether it's good or bad. But this is who you are. I respect that. You put in that work. I respect that you're willing to grind. I respect that you're willing to, forgive people. I respect that you're willing to love in spite of some of the things that may have happened to you. And so you want someone that would have that mutual, that you could have, that you have, and they, y'all have mutual respect for one another. Positive conflict resolution. And we talk about this a few times, where we talk about having those tough conversations. One of the flags, the green flags that you would say, it's like, yo, this is something I can get with, because I need someone I can talk to. But we can have a disagreement and we're willing to talk through it. We're willing to resolve that issue, not run from it, because you can't have tough conversations, or I can't have tough conversations. That's a beautiful thing when you have someone that you can sit down with, no matter the topic, and say, hey, we got an issue here. Let's talk about that. And they sit down and they have that conversation, tell you why they have the issue, why the things they're thinking, and the things that's influencing them in that area. And you can share that same, and y'all can just talk it through. It ain't always going to be easy, but you can have that conversation. They're not going to run from it. In business, we go, we always tell my employees, like, yo, when we come together, I need to hear you tell me, or if you think I'm wrong about something I'm saying, tell me. Let's talk about it. Because I may be really wrong, or it may be that your understanding of what I'm saying is wrong. But if you're sitting on it, we can't get it resolved and we can't move forward. So now you walking out of here with some kind of, you feeling kind of, like, oh, he don't listen, or that, oh, I can't believe he said that, or this and that. Where in reality, you just should have brought up what your issue was. And I could have let you know, nah, I wasn't even thinking that way. This is what I was thinking. Or maybe it was. But at least we're on the same page. Don't be afraid to have those tough conversations. Positive conflicts is that's that green flag that you want to be like, yo, this person, okay, we have an opportunity here because we can resolve issues. Because every relationship, I don't care how much you love her and she loves you, you're gonna have some issues in the relationship. They're gonna come up, but you got to be able to resolve them and be able to talk through it. You want someone, look at the emotional health. Are they healthy emotionally? Meaning, has the trauma and drama of their life been dealt with, or or are they dealing with it? Not are they hiding it?
How do you determine that in the dating stage?
Again, because you're gonna see all these different things pop up if they unhealthy emotionally. So it's like, and then we want to have a conversation. So I want to know. Okay, if you cry every time I say this word, this is a trigger word for you. What are you doing to get help for this? Because I can't just stop saying donuts. So if that's your trigger word, so I need to know, are you getting help with that? Are you, who are you talking to help you work through that issue from this trauma that you have? Because if you're not going to get help and you're not trying to get help for your issues, then you're just going to bring that drama and trauma to our relationship. So I want you to be emotionally healthy, or at least working on your health. Because everybody got some emotional baggage, so to speak. But are we working on it? Are we getting help for it? Or are you just going to sit on it and go from one relationship to this relationship, and then you be that person that say, it ain't no good women out here, or it ain't no good men out there. It ain't that. It's you. The common denominator, you done been through 10 different relationships, none of them work, is you. So you the one who probably got the problem, but you want to blame it on the world. All the other men bad. No, it's probably you. You got an issue, so all these other men running the other way. You got an issue, so all these other women run the other way. But you want to blame it on everybody else. So you want someone that's emotionally healthy, or at least working on being emotionally healthy. Empathy. I want someone not to solve issues in my life, but to empathize with issues that I'm dealing with. You can't fix everything. I can't fix everything that's going on with you. But I can empathize with you. Sometimes all it is just, I'm going to sit here with you as you deal with it. I'm going to sit here and hold your hand. I'm just going to let you know that I'm there for you. It's nothing I can do. I didn't cause the problem. I'm not contributing to the problem. However, I'm going to help contribute to the solution to let you know you're not alone. I'm going to have empathy for you in this situation. If someone has a heart to not run because you have, or because you're dealing with an issue, and they can say, yo, I'll just sit here with you. The problem is, are you dealing with the issue? Because then you say, well, they don't have no, well, that's because you ain't trying. You ain't doing nothing for them to have, they can have empathy and walk away too. But you need to be trying to work through your issue. And if you're trying to work through your issue, and they can just sit with you, or they'll take you to your appointment. They'll go with you when you need to talk to your mom or your dad to work out some issue, and they'll sit in a car, and just so you know you're not alone. Though that's having empathy for others and the things that they're going through. Not necessarily looking at it as oh, well, I gotta fix them or fix their problem. No, it ain't my job to fix you. It ain't my job to fix your problem in most cases, unless I caused it. And then, yeah, I need to help you work through it if we still together. But in most cases, your problems, your issues probably have nothing to do with me. But I'm willing to be with you through it because I see you working on it. And if you're working on it, then you have the ability to be emotionally healthy. So those are just a few of the flags. And again, it's a lot of other green flags. Again, you could say a flag is, I want a man that's 6'2". Okay, if that's what you want, That's a green flag for you.
How
If he's 6'2".
convenient for you.
Yeah, I use it. So, but if that's what you want, then that's a green flag for you. I want a girl that's blah blah. If she's that, then that's your green flag. Whatever your flags are, but you need to understand and kind of talk through what those are for you. Figure out what the things you want and don't want in relationships. I want somebody that's easy, to talk to. I want somebody that's soft-spoken. I want somebody that's outgoing. I want somebody that's forceful. Whatever that is, if that's what you want, then those green flags are also things that you need to jot down. And when you're looking at relationships, then you find those things that work for you. But as the Kelly Green would say, and those are positive. But we got some red.
We always have that.
And unfortunately, red is a negative. That's all I'm going to say. If you got on a red jersey, it's a negative. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the flags that don't get called on red jerseys that need to be. And when we talk about red flags, controlling behavior. Somebody that need to control everything about this relationship. They have no flexibility. And it's my way. It's going to be my way. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this my way. That should be a flag for you. Now, doesn't necessarily mean, as I said before, that a relationship should end because someone has a controlling behavior. Because sometimes people have learned to be controlling based on circumstances in their life. I had to take control because nobody else would. I needed to do it my way because if I waited for other people, it would never get done. So they're controlling it. But once it's brought to their attention, are they willing to change? So that's why you say it doesn't mean that it has to end, but you have to play it out and kind of see where it goes when you have those conversations. Because you don't want somebody that's not flexible in the relationship.
Okay, but what if my way is just the right way?
If your way isn't the right way?
If it is, like what if I'm controlling because I'm just right?
And you may be right. But again, don't mean you're right. But how do you know you're right? Just because it's you?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
and that's why we're going to throw a red flag on that and check that out. Because again, it could be right. Your way could be right. But even if it's right, in a relationship, sometimes, again, unless it's something harmful, sometimes let's just do it your way so you can see. Because sometimes I'm going to prove to you I'm right by us doing it your wrong way.
So I'm supposed to waste my time figuring out something that I already know. So
yes.
You can find out what I already know, which is that I'm right.
Yes.
Okay.
Because again, like I said, relationship ain't always about you. So it's about, and again, especially early in this relationship, we trying to figure some things out. But I don't need you always pushing your way on me all the time, and I never have a voice. Every person in the relationship, each of us should have a voice in the relationship. It shouldn't be one way. And again, not to say that now, and this is why you go back to employees. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. And the same thing in a relationship. If you in a relationship and the other person has no value other than to do what you say, you need to step up your relationship. Because not only will your relationship be stagnant, but also you will not grow. Because you need somebody that's going to push you, that's going to challenge you, that's going to uplift you and make you think about things in more than just one way. So you need that as well. So again, controlling behavior. Isolation tactics. They always want to keep you to themselves. It's all about, oh, let's go see my mom. Oh, nah, baby. I just want to be with you at the house. We just gonna kick back. I want to be with you by myself. Oh, my friend's having a party. Oh, baby, let's just stay home and, me and you can be together. Or, yo, my boys, they're having a game night. Hey, baby, but what about us? We could just stay home and look. Anytime someone wants to isolate you, keep you to yourself, it's a dangerous situation. You have to understand, there's nothing wrong with them wanting to be with you, but don't go overboard. Nobody should be going overboard.
Okay, but what if all your people whack?
And that may be true. And I ain't going to deny that. However, it ain't about the people. It's about us not just being stuck in isolation. It's only about you and me and everybody. Because again, when people become isolated and something go wrong, who do you turn to? How can you get help when no one knows that you need help?
Me.
Right. Dangerous. Turn to me. Everything goes through me. Everything is me. Me. I got you. You don't need them. You need me. Dangerous situation. And again, it don't just happen with men. A lot of times people always say, well, he wants to separate. He wants to keep you from your family. A lot of times it's she too.
She too.
She too. That's right. She too. She want to keep you from your family. She don't want you to see your mama no more. Gonna be like, well, you're gonna be you're just a mama's boy. Yeah, I'm a mama's boy. I love my mama. So you ain't gonna keep me from my mama. But sometimes she want, because again, when you're around other people, sometimes what happens is they'll see some things that you might not see. Some dangers that you need to avoid, especially your mama. My mama would be like, yo, you might want to check this one before you get too caught up. So you want to make sure that you don't get put in a position to be isolated and alone, so that no danger can come to you or to the other person. If because again, you might isolate me, but if I gotta defend myself, I might hurt you. So now we all in trouble. So isolation. Avoiding deep conversation. We talked about before with the green, we talked about having positive conflict resolution. But sometimes it's in the other way, people avoid those deep conversations. I want to talk about what you're feeling. I want to talk about what you're thinking. I want to talk about where you want to go in life. I want to talk about, let's get off the surface. We've been dating for a minute now, and all we've been talking about is the moment. Well, let's get a little deeper in this relationship. They don't want to talk about that. Because what happens is when we start talking deep, you start finding out things they don't want you to find out, or maybe even things they didn't know about themselves. And they were afraid to address. That might be dangerous to you and for you. So you don't want somebody, look, I need to be able to talk to you. I'm one of those people that I don't like, I don't like dumb people. Dumb people get on my nerves. They bore me. I want to be able to talk to you and you talk to me. I don't want to have to explain everything I say. I want to be able to say it and you understand some of it. But at the same time, I can't talk to you and you have nothing to give back to the conversation. I'm telling you about my life and my life experiences, my pains, my hurts, my dreams, and all you say is, oh, that's nice. Yo, what about you? You ain't got nothing to give? You have nothing inside your head? That for me would be that red flag that I'm like, yo, you got, look. And again, not to say that, I would say for me, that's like one of the top on the list where I'm about to toss you.
Okay, but is it a red flag if I don't care about none of that stuff you got in your head?
Yeah, see, and again, that's where the red flag is. And the reason why they don't want to talk, and maybe they don't care. Maybe it's strictly, I like the way you look. I like the way you feel. That's all I care about. I don't care about who you are as a person. And again, if all I'm out here doing is if we're going to go out on a date and have a good time, maybe that's all I need from you. But if I'm talking about a relationship, then I need much more. I need you to care about those things in my head.
But do I? In a relationship, maybe I want you to talk less.
And again, then that means we're not compatible. So you need to go find somebody who talks less, and I need to go find somebody who can communicate openly.
And intelligently.
And I don't have to explain every little thing to you. So again, I need you to be able to get into those deep conversations. Jealousy. That's one of them where, people look at jealousy in a lot of different ways. And I think some people say, well, I ain't jealous. I just try to protect what's mine. Or I want to make sure you're not being disrespected, this, that, or the other. You know, but if I'm one of those people that I don't worry about who you talk to. If I'm dating somebody and she talking to a dude, let's say we go out and she's standing at the bar and some dude walk up and start talking, I don't really care. It ain't bothering me that somebody talking to her while she over there and she can come back and sit down and talk to me. Or that's not, look, don't be disrespectful, but if you just having a conversation, that's not a big deal. I ain't tripping over that because I know who I am. Usually what happens when people are overly jealous is because they ain't got no confidence. They ain't sure that their game, that their what they're trying to put out for you is strong enough to keep you, so they trying to keep everybody else away because you probably will find something better. So they like, yo, why you talking to him? Why you talking to her? Every time I turn around, you talking to somebody. Okay, we talk. If she say hello, I say hello back. It didn't mean that we were going to go on a date. It wasn't mean we were trying. I just said hello. It ain't that deep. But the reason why you have an issue with your confidence and maybe your past because the last guy you was with cheated on you or the last girl you was with cheated on you. So you bringing that on me. No, keep that to yourself. Look, like I said, I've never been a jealous person. I'm like, yo, you know, if you go out and do it, then it probably mean we wasn't supposed to be together anyway. And look, and if we just dating and some dude came up and you left with him, then evidently I wasn't doing a good job. So that's on me.
I'm not a jealous person either. I can recall a time I was at the supermarket with my girl. Some boys walking by trying to get some cereal or something.
Try to get some cereal?
Yeah, I got some kicks.
Right.
He said, excuse me. She said, oh, nah, it's okay. Now, why would she think that's cool to do right in front of me? Like, say, it's okay.
Right.
So, obviously, we got in an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're here on topic, you tell me, why would she think it's okay to tell a man it's okay? And right in front of my face, like I'm soft. Okay,
the short answer is because it's okay. So that's short. Because it's okay. It's okay for her to tell her that. So now, the question is, why is it that you would feel that it's not okay? Is the bigger question that you need to look internally to resolve that issue before not only you get too deep with her, but in a relationship with anybody.
I just feel like people need to stop playing in my face.
Yeah.
Stuff not okay, and you just gonna be saying, like, I'm right here. I'm right here. Right. It's not okay, brother. Get your kicks. Just get your kicks and leave.
Yeah.
What are we talking for?
Right. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to get you some counseling. But that's what really needs to happen is you need some counseling so that man can get his kicks and your girl can say it's okay without you feeling that something is not okay. So we can get you some counseling. We're going to lay you down on the couch and have you talk about your past. You know, let's talk about your feelings.
I've had problems.
Yeah. So we're going, no, that's the biggest thing. But again, that jealousy, you know, that's a serious thing. I mean, because jealousy get people killed. And jealousy has hurt a lot of people, not only in relationship, but physically and mentally. Because, and the jealousy is usually it's not even the person that you're jealous of, it's not even their fault, it's you. Because if you treat someone well, they ain't going nowhere. If you treating them well and they do, you know, y'all got a good relationship, they ain't going nowhere. Y'all work on your issue. Work on you. Work on the relationship you have with him or her, and not worry about other people. Because when you stop worrying about other people and what they can do, or they're gonna take my girl, or they're gonna take my guy, you're probably losing them anyway. So again, that jealousy is it's dangerous.
Slippery slope.
Yeah, and, you know, and so the other one that we want to talk about is love bombing. You ever heard of that term, love bombing?
I have.
So I really, you know, when I first heard it, I was like, what is a love bombing? And so as I'm listening, I'm like, yo, I didn't think about that. But it's like when people just overwhelm you with love, with affection. I gotta be with, I gotta do this. Yo, Oh, girl, you the best. You this. Oh, man, I love him. I got to get him this. I'm going to get him this. I'm going to buy her this. I'm going to do this for him. I want to be with him. And really, in a lot of cases, you got to be careful of that. Because what happens is it's usually a setup. You get that love bomb. Boom. And what happens when you get the boom? When you look around, everything clear.
It all stops.
It's all gone. It's going away. Blows it up. So you thinking this person, oh, they love me so much. They can't live without me. They want to be with me all the time. And they like, yo, I got her where I want them. Now I can bounce. I can do it when I want. I don't have to do that no more because I got you. No, I would rather have steady growth in a relationship. Nobody on day one, I meet you, we're talking, we're getting to know each other. Day 2, we still getting to know each other. Day 3, we still getting to know each other. It takes time. We need to be growing this relationship. We grow the relationship. We let the relationship develop. You don't have to overwhelm me with your so-called love only for it to disappear later. So I need to be careful and need to make sure that I'm looking at that and saying, okay, this may not be what I think it is. It feels good. It feels great for somebody to shower you with that kind of affection and love, but is it going to last? So you have to be careful. Don't be afraid to pull back a little bit and watch. Because when you watch things in any relationship, when you see these flags, like I said, not necessarily a reason to just throw everything away, but it's a reason to pull back, look, and examine what's going on. Is it really what it appears to be? Is it as bad as it appears to be? Is it as good as it appears to be? Should I get second opinions? Should I involve somebody else to help me? But I need to pay attention. Don't just ignore red flags. Don't ignore them. Again, don't mean your relationship has to end, but it needs to be examined. That area needs to be examined. Wherever that flag is, it needs to be examined. So don't ignore them thinking, oh, he'll get better or she'll get better. It'll change. Things don't change unless you address it. And unless the person that's doing it or that needs to change wants to change. You're not going to change them. So if you ignore the flag thinking, oh, I'll change him once we get married, or once she fall in love with me, she'll change. No, bruh. You're not going to change her. She's not going to change you. Change comes from within. It doesn't come from external. People don't change other people. So pay attention to those flags. So with that, we tried to laugh a little bit with this one.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of potting going on. That was Jealous Jimmy, not to be confused with Incredible Izzle.
Yeah, so Jealous Jimmy got some issues. But at the same time, like I said, those things are real sometimes. Pay attention to the flags, people. Pay attention to the green flag because you don't want to miss out on a good person because you like they're not where you want them to be now. But they got the potential to be there. That growth potential. And so you ignore that green flag and then you end up with some dude that ain't got no potential, but even though at the moment he looked like he was great. So pay attention to the green, pay attention to the red. But like we all know, the green is the best. So, so again, I tell you again, I appreciate you guys, and I hope that, as you pay attention to all of these podcasts, all the topics that we have, that it just makes you think. It makes you think. It makes you re-examine some things and question some things. I'm not telling you I got all the answers. I'm not telling you I already told you I ain't do everything right. So again, a lot of the stuff I'm telling you is from my own failures. So hopefully you won't make the same mistake. But I want you
that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll do better because I'm telling you these things. But again, keep questioning, asking questions, and doing the best. Keep examining your relationships at all times. In order for your relationship to grow, no matter if you in dating or married, it needs to continue to grow, but it needs to do that because you keep examining and talking about the issues that you have, and so even the great things that you have. You know, you want to highlight the good, minimize the bad. All right. So with that said, I appreciate you guys once again. We are gonna sign off. I appreciate you, Izzle. Jealous Jimmy,
Sir.
We'll get back with Jealous Jimmy at another point. I think we might talk to him again.
I'm sure it'll pop back up.
Yeah. So in the meantime, you guys be cool, and if you keep striving to do the best you can. That's all you can. Do the best you can.
Also, tell a friend to tell a friend. The more the merrier. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff.
All that.
Holla at you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. We Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Tub with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.